What I regret the most, you guys, is not cutting these people off sooner. Every time I look back, you guys, I regret not cutting these people off sooner. And the reason why I didn't is because before I get to the point of cutting someone off, I have like a lens of compassion, right? And I try to view every scenario, and I try to think about every way I could save this relationship or friendship before I cut them off. But when I get to the point to cutting off, you guys, when I tell you I cut off and don't look back, that is literally me. Like, I cut off, don't look back. I cut off block. I cut off and block you off my phone, off of all social media apps, and I do not look back. You know how some people go and like look back at other people's pages to see how they're doing? I don't do that. Like, because when I get to the point of cutting you off, you guys, it's been a long process. It's to the point where I'm like, okay, I know that this individual is not healthy in my life, so it's time to let them go. I know that this person means me no well. I know that this person has really poor intentions for me, and I have to let them go. And two people I cut off, I knew them for over a decade, you guys. And sometimes, you guys, what we tend to do is confuse the fact that they were there for us in our bad times and other times when our relationships felt betrayal. We feel like, okay, they were there during those times. Why would I cut this friendship off? Not realizing that they're with you. Some people, you guys, are with you in the bad times because they're using that bad time to laugh at you behind your back. They're using that to gossip about you. And when you're in your sad, vulnerable, lowest point, you guys, sometimes that makes them feel better about their own lives. So you're confusing that they're calling you every day, that they're checking on you every day, right? That they're really seeming like they're caring about what you're going through as a positive thing. Sometimes, you guys, some people are only getting close to you so they can talk about you, so they can go behind your back, you guys. And this was my story. So you look at that as like, okay, I knew that person for a long time and that they have a level of loyalty. I have a level of loyalty to them. But that wasn't the case, because on the flip side, when you're experiencing happiness, when you're experiencing joy, when things are on the up and up, the first thing these people do, you guys, is remind you of where you were. I would never forget one of the friends that I had to cut off from friendship for over 13 years, you guys, of friendship. But looking back in retrospect, there's always signs that they were never really your friend. But I had to, when I cut her off, once I knew that things were going on the up and up for me, there was nothing for me to complain about on the phone. We had nothing to talk about. When there was nothing for me to complain about, you guys, we had nothing to talk about. Nothing to talk about. In fact, when I was excited about buying a new house or getting a new job or being in a happy relationship, she would quickly remind me of the negative, toxic relationships I was in, or the time where I was sad, because what she wanted to do is take my high vibration, all that was all the way up here, bring it right back down to her level. That's what they do. Misery loves company. So you're mistaking the fact that they're with you in your bad times, not realizing that that's their fuel, that's their fire, that they love to see you down. That's the reason why they're around you so much. But when you're happy, when you're excited, they're not excited for you. I will never forget when I just got engaged, and it was public, and I had my ring. She looked at my ring, didn't say a word, right? Didn't say a word, right? Another thing was, and then she would put negative seeds in about my current relationship, right? She would drop negative seeds. And there was no reason for that. Another thing is I invited her over to the house, right? And I'm the type of friend, you guys, you come, I'm going to compliment your house. Like I'm going to compliment something, right? And I know my house was, I know my house was nice. She's just looking around, you guys, and then she sits down. Doesn't say a word, doesn't say congratulations, doesn't say a word, you guys, right? To me, those are red flags, right? To me, those are red flags of people constantly wanting to be around you when things are going poor. But when things are on the up and up for you, there's no congratulations, there's no happiness for you, there's no joy for you, constantly trying to remind you of where you are. You guys, Matthew 5:30 says, and if your right hand causes you to stumble, cut it off and throw it away. It is better for you to lose one part of your body than for your whole body to go into hell, right? And when God is talking about that, he's talking about this figuratively. He's saying that if someone is causing you to stumble or something is causing you to stumble, cut it off, because what it does is it starts to infect the rest of your life. It starts to infect the rest of your life, and it holds you back, you guys. Spirits come in people that we love. It comes in family members sometimes. I've heard many stories about family members who don't want to support or love you, and they just want to bring you back, right? Maybe you were the black sheep of the family, right? Maybe you were the person that they didn't expect to succeed. And then when you get there, it's like a shock value for them. They can't even comprehend saying congratulations to you, right? Cut them off. God is not saying don't forgive them. God is not saying don't love them from afar, but he's saying cut them off so they don't have access to you, right? So they don't have the ability to come in and harm you, right? This reminds me of when I was a child, and my mom would always be like, be careful of who you let in your house. She said, you don't see me having all these people in my house, do you? And I'm like, no, she doesn't. She's like, that's for a reason. And as a kid, you don't fully understand this until you're an adult. And the sad part is that I will let these people in my house, which means that I will let them in my space. I will let them in fully because my intentions were pure. But keeping people out of your house is a protective thing, because sometimes people want to come in just to look around of what you have, just to size up to see whether they have the things that you have. And they're not really, really happy for you. So sometimes you have to cut these people off. And like I said earlier, I wish the only thing I didn't do was do it earlier. But when I did do it, it felt so right that I didn't look back. I did probably shed a tear or two, because you think about these people that said, oh, I had these friendships for 20 years. That's goals for me. But sometimes, you guys, people come into your space to kind of ruin what you have. They want to keep you down because they feel elevated when you're down, right? For some reason, the people closest to you want to compare themselves to you. And it's so sad. And a lot of times, you guys, in retrospect, a lot of these people were miserable when I think about it. So you have to have people that are uplifting around you, that truly love you, that truly want to see a smile on your face, that are there for you when it's bad and when it's good. And that's what I was lacking. I didn't have the friends that were there when it was good. They were only wanted to be around when it was bad. Don't be afraid to cut these people off. I'm wishing you guys a blessed Sunday.